Good morning, supers. Welcome to the EntrepreNEWS. Evergrande's ticking time bomb. Tick, tick, tick. The seconds are ticking by on whether or not they will be able to make their next payment. Google is recruiting small businesses to fight its war. Krispy Kreme is soaring, and the Wolf of Wall Street has some advice for you. Google sends anti-regulation propaganda to small businesses using Google Maps. Apparently, Google has been quietly enlisting the help of small businesses to protect its nearly $2 trillion company from antitrust regulations in response to congressional bills like the Ending Platform Monopolies Act, which would ban platform owners from favoring their own services over the competition. Google is telling small business owners that these bills would hurt their ability to find customers online, and that they should contact their congressperson about the issue. So they have this giant email, like drop in your email, just as if Google doesn't already know your email address. But they have some pictures here where they show before and after. So if you looked for Molly's ice cream as an example, in Norwood, Ohio, right now you will see like, oh, here's, you can click the call button, direction, save, or website, and check out reviews and all that. And if it changes, well, then what we're going to be subjected to is not having this big call to action right at the top, because Google nailed exactly who you were trying to reach. But just another, basically going backwards into the way that the results used to look. This is a weird argument to make. Google doesn't address why Google Maps and rich results would be so closely tied together, and why it couldn't just show rich results from a different local info provider, like whoever the top result is. Google has an entire, quote, structured data format specifically so that sites can supply rich search results, and Google search regularly shows customer ratings and pricings info from sites from like Facebook, Yelp, and TripAdvisor. So to me, this is both a good and bad thing. I think having, Google, I like the way Google handles reviews. I know John Taffer has been a big proponent of Google reviews because of the fact that it shows all the reviews versus like a Yelp, who like, oh, if as long as you're paying us, then, we're going to show the best reviews. And as soon as you stop paying us, well, then the best reviews go into not recommended, quote unquote, reviews, and that is not a great practice, not good for business. And I'm not 100% sure why the Google search results would have to change. So I'm going to have to do some more digging into this, but I will be following it closely. It's always fun to see giant trillion-dollar corporations enlisting the help of smaller companies to try to pressure, instead of paying like the good old-fashioned way of figuring, pushing dollars through lobbyists. Evergrande is courting default again. $148 million payment comes due. The clock is ticking. So Wednesday, let's see, if they don't pay by Wednesday after the expiration of the 30-day grace period on coupons of 2022, 2023, and 2024 bonds, according to media reports, no creditor has so far indicated that the payment has been made. The Chinese real estate and property giant is facing more than $300 billion of liability. Obviously, been following this here on the EntrepreNEWS for over a month now, and just yesterday, the Feds finally admitted that there might be a problem here. It might have a ripple effect into our economy as well as the rest of the world, which, of course, it will. It absolutely will hurt be felt around the world if they default. So I am very much pro people, and I think that it needs they need to get out of this, whether one way or another. They need to be able to be held accountable, but also get out of this so that more people are not held hostage by it through economic means. Now we're going to go to rapid fire. Krispy Kreme revenue beats estimates as donut chain flexes prices pricing power. Krispy Kreme topped Wall Street's estimates for its third quarter revenue and met expectations for its adjusted earnings per share. CEO Mike Tattersfield said that the company has pricing power because of customers are willing to spend more on fresh donuts. Krispy Kreme raised prices in September and plans to hike them further in the fourth quarter. Well, I just thought that this was absolutely ironic given the fact that we just talked about Peloton yesterday losing an enormous amount of market share or market cap because people are, life is changing, and the longest New Year's Day ever is finally coming to an end, for at least for Peloton. So we will continue to see what kind of progress is made, but to me, this is just a sign of people getting back in their cars, people going back into work, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dunkin' Donuts, had something to say about that have a good quarter as well. Robinhood hit by data breach exposing emails and names of 7 million users, including my own. Not great, but they do say no social security numbers, bank account numbers, or debit card numbers were exposed, and that customers have seen no financial losses because of the intrusion. But they have names and email addresses, and for 310 people, the information taken included their name, date of birth, and zip code. Of those, 10 customers had more extensive account details revealed. That seems awfully tiny compared to the 7 million that were affected. But we will continue to watch this. Hopefully that is the case. And it's always tough whenever dealing with sensitive materials. We have to be cognizant of what we're doing to protect those materials for our customers and for our own sake, because it just is not. The world can't be trusted, and we have to do everything that we can. Secure your Wi-Fi passwords. Anything can be a potential data breach. Open up yourself to a data breach. So, make sure you have strong passwords for your members, for your team members. Make sure that your Wi-Fi passwords are strong and or rotated out. These are little things that you can do at your business to make sure that you're staying ahead of the criminals. And speaking of criminals, the Wolf of Wall Street offers advice to workers making $60,000 a year. Basically, his advice is you have to develop a side hustle to start at least, and get a second source of income, whether that be real estate, investing in stocks, crypto, something. Start getting a second source of income together and then slowly transition into that full time. Now, obviously, if you haven't watched The Wolf of Wall Street, amazing movie. You should watch it. But not the biggest Jordan Belfort fan. And some of his detractors even said $60K at 25 is good. Not everyone scams for a living. One person was commented saying, and another one said, would perhaps stealing millions of dollars from working class citizens be a better option? Look, I don't disagree with those people at all. But I do agree with Jordan on the idea that you need something that's going to bring in secondary income. I mean, even some of my friends that are in their 50s and heading closer to their 60s, they, finally got enough money to be able to start buying real estate in the last couple of years and start flipping houses and things like that. And obviously that has been a bit muddled leading up to now. And certainly going forward, but there's always going to be an opportunity. There's always a deal out there if you're willing to look and search and get really, honed in on what a market worth of something is. So definitely keep it moving and don't stop, whatever your side hustle is. And if you do it right, you'll, get to convert that into a full-time job if you're lucky, and if you're fortunate enough to get skillful at it. And maybe and when I say lucky, I mean there is a bit of luck, being in the right place at the right time. Luck, fortunes, what was it? Luck, fortunes, the prepared, right? So being prepared to be able to have the money and do things. So stash some money away so that you can build up that runway. Anyway, that wraps it up for the EntrepreNEWS. This is a brand new format. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you are, and I'll see you in one of these next videos over here. Take care.